Hello guys and welcome to another tutorial. In this tutorial we're going to be learning a little bit of advanced Flask since we learned last time of how to set it up. This time we're going to integrate our digital assistant that we made in Python in Flask. Now of course I didn't make any complex versions of it, so I just made it basic. Right, so in this map you're gonna have obviously the Flask stuff, this you don't have to have, and PyCache is gonna make itself, so that's pretty cool. So all you need to have is your redline.py, which is your digital assistant. You don't need to have this API, I just put it there so you can see. And you need server.py. So right here, you can just rewrite this code. The API goes right here. So how does it work? Well, we have the solution as a list right here. I tried to make it global and stuff like that, but it didn't work out quite well. It didn't do the trick, so I had to make it a list as well and append to it and stuff like that. So anyways, we have the redline function and it accepts the question. The API is already here, and then it tries to answer the question using the Wolframalpha client. So res equals like a result is C and dot query and our question. So the question will be accepted from the other file, which is server, and the solution appends. So we append solver to the solution right here. And then we're going to make this solution visible in our server file. We have exceptions here. Stop iteration is when we don't have results, and attribute error is basically the same thing. So if we do not have those, we're just going to say, I'm sorry, I do not know that. So how does this work? Let me show you. Server.py is where it happens. So what you have right here is a code, imports Flask and stuff like that. And we have the import lib as well. This is in default Python packages, like default Python libraries. What this does is it reloads redline every time it imports it. Why? Well, because this PyCache right here executes redline the way it was executed the first time. So that means if you ask what is 2 plus 2, it's going to give you 4 every time as a solution, regardless of if you ask it what's the weather in New York, right? So it's going to return 4. You had to do this, and then we have right here the app route is our index, and then you have your index here, and if the method is get, you're just going to pass and return the template. And if it's post, you're going to accept this post from our form, which is called post, and then you're going to make a string of it, and then you're importing redline, and then you're reloading redline, and then from redline you're importing the function, and then this function is going to accept the queue, which is our question from here. So it has to go in this order, and then you have to import solution after that. Why? Well, because at first solution is just going to have the first thing that we imported, which is solution. It just says solution, and then we don't have use of that. So we want to do solution and 1 here to refer to our answer. And then we can print out solution to the terminal, which we don't really have to do, but we can return render template right here. Render template right here, and it's going to return our index.html, but in this case solution is not going to be blank, it's going to be our solution from here, which is actually this one because we redefined it. So what this does is it names this variable, which we put right here into our index.html. There it is. So it doesn't have a name right now. If you just refer to it, just like print index.html, it's not going to work. You have to refer to it like this. Make sure that this solution variable is actually this one. So this one is from the code, and this one is from the HTML. All right, so let's close this up. And you can rewrite this code. And let me show you how it works. Let's run a terminal here. Server.py, and let's open our browser. Also, you can put this on ngrok as well, and it's going to work as well. But keep in mind that if you share this with your friends, they're probably going to use a lot of your API requests. I have a free Wolframalpha API, which means I have like 1,000 requests only. So let's go back to it. All right, there we go. I just had to change the API. So let's ask him a message. Weather in London. Let's send the message. You can also ask what is the weather in London, or what's it like, I don't know. And it's going to give you your answer. Good, now you're thinking, well, if the PyCache has been changed and it's this now. But luckily we reload it every time we run it, so we can just do what is 44 plus 37 and send a message, and it's 81. You can ask this digital assistant pretty much everything you can ask Wolframalpha, except for he does not assume. So that means if you ask him who's Brad Pitt, it's not gonna work. And there we go. And it says, I'm sorry, I do not know that. All right. But if we ask him any mathematical stuff or stuff like that you can ask Wolframalpha, let's ask the let's ask who is the president of Kenya? President of Kenya. There we go. Now let's send a message. And obviously you can ask him IP, and it's going to give you information about IP, but not your IP address. It's just gonna say like what country are you from and stuff like that. And you can also ask him, I don't know, what is the tallest mountain? Now you can pretty much guess how this could work. You can modify your Python code to go. Let me just show you. Okay, let's see, Mount Everest. Okay, that's good. You can modify Python code to have ifs here. So if the question is, I don't know, some Easter egg that you want, let's call it Easter egg. So if the question is Easter egg, then do a certain thing, and then put all of this into else under this try. So what this will do is just gonna go through it, and you can have all alternate questions right here. You can have, maybe if I ask the question, right now, if I ask the question, who is Elon Musk? Elon Musk, and it's not going to answer it because, as I said, assumptions are not working great. The API has a little bit of a problem. But of course, sometimes if you ask a certain question the certain way, it will actually answer it for you. Like if I ask who is Elon Musk and some other stuff, maybe it's going to answer. So it really depends on it. But if I can also make sure that this who is Elon Musk can be answered with he's the god of technology. I don't know. So, it doesn't matter. You can write whatever you want. So there you go. I just wanted to show you how it works. So that's pretty good. I made a new website. I actually bought it this time, and now I don't have the old Wix site. So you have the latest video, you have all your posts in text version, so you can visit the website. Thank you so much for watching, and have a nice day.